This is gonna be such a mess.
That didn't quite work out as planned. Today we will be removing the fuel tank and installing a new fuel pump. I'm removing this plastic panel so that I can begin disconnecting all the fuel hoses nestled behind it. Okay, so that's a fuel line. That obviously has to be because it's connected there. That will be a fuel line because it's braided looking. This is the auto shifter mechanism. Fuel filter?
Well, I would have paid attention to how that rounds, but not like that.
It's okay, it's on film, right? Alright, and then this is the second one, which I will remove anyway because why not?
I'll get you some more.
What is the main reason for us doing this? Because I decided I wanted to run the hard lines.
Yes.
Rather than running flexi line.
Every other person does, yes.
Oh, that smells like petrol and I love it. This one is rock solid.
Yeah, that's why I think you're supposed to be careful with disintegrates.
There's another connector there, but it's in a dumb spot. Right at the top. I'm not gonna be able to fit a freaking screwdriver through there. What are these guys thinking? Oh fuck, am I not pushing? Shit.
What's wrong?
I'm pushing the...
Oh, the jacks.
The jack.
The one that's not holding up the car though, so we're okay.
Yeah, it's not holding it. I can't really get to it from the other side because it'd be easier to just try and pull it out. Rather than pulling it to the side. I don't think there's any way I can get my mum. At this stage, I'm just trying to loosen the hose clamp on the fuel tank side enough so that I can rotate the clamp to a position with better reach. Yes. Oh, so close, so close! Oh, yes! Get the fuck out of here! Alright, so last place I left you guys, removed this piping from the fuel tank. When you do remove this, just be really careful because everybody on the internet says that these are crazy brittle and difficult as heck to find replacements for. I ended up loosening both ends. The end that was furthest inside the tank, I only was able to crack it loose because they had the bolt facing upwards in there and there's just no space. So I loosened it enough to just twist it all the way around to get a... I've lost all my tools.
10mm ratchet.
10mm ratchet, just with an extension on it to reach there. I managed to pry that off, but I pried it off on this side because I didn't get enough flex to twist out that end. But once I managed to get it out of here, I was able to twist the whole unit and get this whole thing out. So that is out. We just clogged this up with a rag for now, just to kind of stop the fuel smells and getting high as much as I love it. And so what we're going to do today is remove all the other hoses that are inside here. Now I believe there are 2 vacuum hoses inside here, which you're not going to see. And obviously this is the filler breather, which I released on this side, which I'm probably just going to leave as released on this side. But I'll remove the 2 flexi hoses, which I think actually, I know yesterday I said it was these 2, but they appear to actually join up onto this tube here, and then they stick out, which you won't see on screen. So, oh no, and then one is out. Yep, alright, anyway, let's get to it. While we're waiting for things, just to kind of, camera's incredibly blurry because it thinks it knows better than me, but inside here we've got one hose here which connects to, maybe I'll go this side. So that's the hose here that we've loosened, and this one here, and it connects to a pipe. I don't know if you can see it, it's probably too dark, but there's a pipe in there you might be able to just see. So that needed to get removed, and then the other one we've got is this bad boy here. Now he connected to this pipe here, so that's 2. And then the third one we got down there is obviously this big flexi hose piece here, which connects to the fuel filter. This camera really doesn't want to focus. So now what we got to do is I'm going to remove this hose, which turns into a hard line and goes way in there somewhere. And then we've got these 2 hoses, which should be pretty simple. That one I think is the fuel pump one, and that one must be a vent because it goes up in there. So that's where we're at the moment. I'll just put these so there looks to be a copper washer both on either side of the...
Banjo, is it?
Is it a banjo?
Does it have a hole in the bolt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's banjo.
We'll just put that bolt back in there so I know where it goes. So that is the fuel filter. And so yeah, that's the clamp that holds it on there. So that's going to be pretty easy to take off. And then just for safe measure, the bolts that it came with, I'm just going to put back in here so I know where they go. Okay, so this one says JA10. And then the other one that I pulled out here, which was the same size as this one, said JA16 on it. Alright, so we got a big boy Jerry right here. And this is the hole to drain the fuel. 3/8 square thing that goes in there to crack it loose. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to spill petrol all over me, so yeah, don't do this at home. Or if you do this at home, make sure you're not going to get yourself soaked with fuel. Oh. Okay, so this is going to be quite the mathematical challenge. So this is the fuel drain here. Our 20 litre, which is that one there, is too big. So we've got 1, 2 and a third 5 litre petrol tank coming along. So we're going to be swapping, changing the 5 litres around. John's going to be rapidly filling up the fuel thing. I don't know how this gimbal's going to sit. Hello. I'm resting my head
on a toolbox.
On a toolbox. This is going to be fun. Yes. Yeah, boy.
Nice.
Do you mean to just open it completely?
No.
You getting some high?
Yeah, I am. So, I keep tightening it.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Swap. Go swap.
I'll take that out.
Yep. So, rip my skin. That didn't quite work out as planned. So, as you saw from that clip, it worked really well until it didn't. So this is how much fuel we managed to get. We ended up just... The funnel was fine, except for the fact that John did say that it might backflow because it's kind of not really on a downward thing, and it's a small hole for a lot of fuel to come through, and sure enough it did. Internet, I'd like to introduce you to our attempt at clean fuel escape from the fuel tank into the things. It's probably not going to work, but you know. So I ended up having to plug the fuel tank with my finger, and then like awkwardly jimmy out the funnel over there, which half of the fuel spilt on me, and then freaking out and yelling to John because the cap for the filler for the fuel tank was in the funnel, and then by the time he gave it to me, the fuel ran out. so yeah, there was probably only about 15 litres of,
I can get that.
well, probably not even that, like 10 litres of petrol in there.
Yeah, less than half, so yeah, 10 litre.
But yeah, that was fun. We found out that just a towel, you know, a towel that you dry yourself with is perfect for drying up petrol. So we're gonna go to REKD and get our fuel lines and things, leave the doors open just to kind of air out, and hopefully by the time we get back, it won't stink so strongly of petrol fumes, because I am definitely feeling a headache coming on. So.
Oh yeah. We've got a lot more work to do with a headache.
Yeah, and it's only the start of the day. But yeah, this kind of worked till it didn't. I don't recommend. Definitely don't do this at home.
So this is a visual representation of why you should replace your fuel filter. Will it work?
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yum. There's two cables, black, they're just black flexi lines. They hook up onto the brackets holding the fuel tank up, but the fuel tank's on a hinge. So we only need to unbolt them and it will hinge this way, and then the fuel tank, it won't get in the way of the tank. That was my concern. There's a bit of rust on this tank, but I assume that's just surface.
Oh, okay, it's going. Help.
cool.
Yeah.
But there is a cable I've clearly missed.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna...
That's fuel pump. That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, is that fuel pump cable?
Yeah, I assume so. It's fuel pump top of the tank, surgical power.
Alright, so first things first, we're just gonna, we might as well, just wipe it down with a damp cloth. The last thing we want is to get stuff from the fuel filter tank. Here, I'm just wiping down the surface of the tank with some hot water just to get all the dust off. The fuel pump itself is held on by 6 8mm bolts. These also do have Phillips heads on them, and I did find that they did come loose with just the screwdriver, so that could be a good option for you. With the fuel pump out, it's time to replace it with a new one. I'm just going to stick this here for now. But the new unit is a fuel mister. Fuel mister?
That's from REKD.
It's from REKD. It's a REKD special. So looking at the contents, we've got a new like filter bag, some hoses, a washer. And then we've got, this is the new tank. Oh, sorry, not the new tank, the new pump. And that's what it looks like. And what else have we got in the box? We got a little baggie with a sticker in it because, you know, you need to, we'll just stick it like on the tank.
Brand represent on your fuel pump.
Brand representation, will that mean that they'll support me, right? We just removed the fuel pump, so I just needed to slide this end out and then loosen these two terminals, and it seemed to pop loose. So that's the old unit. That's negative, and then this one's actually going to something, and this is positive. So with the A-dubs, black is negative, and this is like a blue and black. That will be positive, the positive wire. So on the new unit, which I'll see if the camera here shows, we've got a positive and a negative. So the positive will be connected to the blue wire here, negative obviously to the black. Now to assemble, cool. And that seems to be pretty much how that one looks. All right, sweet. So it's an interesting little cap there. So we'll see if this new unit has that. It does. So we'll just copy and reassemble. So this is the little tag here that we're doing. Steps. I think it goes in like that, and you have to kind of push it in somehow.
Top.
Yep. And the next thing was they had this black thing, so we just put our black thing on. That's really... Oh, there's a cover. This covers it up, so we might be alright. Yep, that covers it up, so I guess if it does fail... That's such great confidence, eh? Nobody's gonna know.
Isn't fair.
Nobody is gonna know. So now that we've done that side, work on this side.
No, it's definitely legitimate.
So with
Totally
this
fine.
one, it's just the hose and a clamp, so we'll remove the ears. Ooh. The top one we will throw on. We'll put it on just on that unit, and then all we got to do is reattach these thingies. Now it's time to install the new fuel pump and then install the tank. We found that hoisting up the tank and trying to guide it back in place was a little difficult, so we jacked it up just high enough and managed to coax it all the way in without exhausting our puny little arm muscles. Thank you all again so much for watching. Next week's video will be focused on installing the hard lines, which will pretty much conclude the stuff on the underside of the car. The end of this build is getting so close, and I am just itching to finally have this little nugget snap over steer on the streets again. If you guys have any questions about the build so far, please do let me know on either YouTube or Instagram, but till the next time, have a good one.